Hey everybody. So I was asked by Michelle and Miss Butterfield to show you guys how I use the discussions feature in Canvas to create and record quick grades. This is a really good assignment that you can do that doesn't require a lot of pre-prep by you and is really easy to grade. So I'll just kind of show you some that I've done in the past and different ways that I've used it because I kind of use it for a couple of different things. So the first thing that you do is on your home page, you go to your left side navigation and there's discussions. So I'll click on that. And actually, I'm going to open a new tab. Let me open this. So you go past the pinned discussions. And so here's all the discussions that I've done in the past. So I've done exit tickets, which obviously you can do in class, or I've done actual assignments. So I'll just show you. So this is one that we did for the Glass Menagerie. And let me open that. So basically, when you're creating the assignment, and I'll show you what it looks like when I edit. Here, I'll actually go to that. So when you're creating the assignment, you give it a name, and then I just put right here all of the different requirements. So I have them do, they have to write 2 observations about the play, and then I kind of give them parameters for that. And I'll kind of leave it on here if you want to pause and kind of use that. So I have them first do their own 2 observations, and usually just have them do that in one post. And then I have them post a question, kind of at the end, and I'll show you kind of what one looks like. And I have them post a question, so they have 2 observations and then a question for the group to discuss. And it just, is whatever they want. Usually, it should be a higher level question, and then after they do that higher level question, then they have to go and post on someone else's with an answer to their question. And so I tell them that you have to respond thoughtfully and heartily. One little sentence isn't going to work. This is a writing class, so I kind of focus on the writing, but you can do it however you want. So I give them their parameters and then just some things. So you can in the options, you can decide if you want them to post before they can see other replies. And for stuff like this, I always tell them, or I always click this because I don't want them cheating and just copying what other people wrote. So they have to write their observations and their question before they can see the other ones. And sometimes they might have the same question because they're kids or whatever, but that's not a big deal because obviously they didn't see what other people wrote. If you don't mind if they see it, or if they want them to look at their classmates' responses, you don't have to click that, but I always do. And then if you want to grade it, then obviously you click graded. If you don't click this, then it won't show up under assignments and in your grade book. So you have to click this for you to be able to grade it. And then I put however many points it's worth, and then the due date and all of that. And then you hit save. And you can also create a rubric. And I'll show you kind of how I did that. So if you go up here after it's published, you can do show rubric. And I think if you haven't made it, it says create rubric. So creating a rubric's really easy. I can show anybody that needs to know how to do that. But I always do a rubric because I always get questions because English is very subjective at times. I always get questions why did I lose points here, blah, 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 blah. So I always create a rubric for stuff like this so that they know exactly where they got points. So let me kind of click that so you can see. And kids can click this and see the rubric too, so they know how they're being assessed. So I give them credit for their first observation, their second observation, their question, and then their response to a question. And I had it worth 50 points. You can have it worth 100, however many you want. And so that is the rubric. So then when I go to the speed grader, which I'll show you. So when you actually want to grade it, there's two ways you can do it. Like when kids start showing up, you can see it like threaded like this. But if you have them respond to each other, it's like, it's a real big pain. Like, because I have 50 kids, like, it's a real big pain to say, okay, who responded to who and all of that. So a way to make it easier to make sure that they just did all of the things you required is you go back to these little dots here and you hit speed grader, and it opens the speed grader, and it shows like each kid their original post and then also like what they responded. It doesn't say like who they're responding to. It just says that they're responding. So you know, because of this little line, that they did 2 posts. And so then when I go to the rubric, I just click through all of the things and hit save. So like if I hit view rubric, I can see all of it and click, where they get their points, hit save, and it grades it for you. So that's a really cool thing about it. You can and I'll show you another one. See, some of them like here's my 2 observations, here's my question, and then that's their response to someone else's. So it's just it's really easy to grade, it's really fast, and it puts a lot of the work on the kids. They're asking the questions, they're answering the questions that they ask, and then all you do is just click, 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 and you have a rubric and you have a grade. So I've utilized that a lot. Other ways I've done it is I've used this one's thesis statements. I had them read through these different things on how to write a thesis statement, and then they wrote thesis statements. And so this was easy because I just went through and I said I could just look at the threads and be like, okay, this is what everyone's topics is, blah, blah, blah. And if I want to grade it, I can, again, just go here, open the speed rubric, or the speed grader, and then just give them their points. So, yeah. Let me go back here. So that's a really good resource that Canvas has available to you. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions about this, I use Canvas a lot, so just let me know. Okay, have a good day.